I grew up in what was thought to be a godly home. I attended church, but I wasn't getting what the sermon was trying to tell me. Um, my parents got divorced when I was about 3, before I could even remember. I never knew what had happened. Around my 6th grade year, I had actually put together the pieces and figured out what had happened between my parents. I started blaming myself and thinking that, it was my fault and why couldn't things have been different. Um, Around my 8th grade year, I began partying. I was hanging around the wrong people and going to those parties and drinking. Later on in the year, I got into a bad relationship. That led me to more partying and drinking and getting into drugs. I actually lost my virginity. That year, I was diagnosed with depression. I began self-harming and drinking more and doing drugs more. I really thought that would help release the pain. I thought that it would take my mind off of what was going on in life, I guess. I was just lost. I didn't know what I needed to do to find the help that I thought I needed. When I was self-harming, I never got to the point of suicide. I had had thoughts of it before, but I could never put myself to it. I was struggling a lot with just everything. I thought everything was going wrong and that I was honestly just hopeless. I was cutting. I know a lot of people think that that's just for attention, but I really think that, I know that I just wanted to release the pain. I thought that I would open up and that would just let out all the harm that was happening to me and that it would just change everything. But that doesn't happen. You just keep doing it over and over and it only gets worse because you're just leaving more scars on yourself and you're not seeing an actual change. So I just kept hanging around the wrong people and continued to dig myself into a deeper hole, I guess. I kept just getting more involved in it and being around those kind of things. I thought that that was what would help me be like everyone else. I thought that was the self-image that I had wanted. I thought that that would give me the I thought that it would just make me like everybody else, and I thought that it would ease the pain a little bit, I guess. I struggled with self-image, and I thought that was a big part of it, is going to those parties and having sex and wearing a ton of makeup and dressing the wrong way. I thought that that was one thing that I was doing wrong in life. I thought that that was something that I needed to do and something I needed to be around to make me fit in. So when I was partying, I'd go home the next day and know that that wasn't something that I should have done. My mom, growing up in a home that is kind of based around God, but you don't live up to that. I knew that that was the wrong thing, but I hadn't had that shown to me, I guess. I knew that I was doing wrong things and that I was going to have consequences for that, and I continued to do them because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like everybody else. I'd go to the parties and begin doing these things thinking that it was okay, and I just asked for forgiveness and that everything would be fine. I began going to a purity project that a church was putting on. I'd actually got into a relationship with a guy, and he was kind of going down the godly path, but he was still involved in those ungodly things. He was still partying and doing those same things as me, and I brought him to that purity project, really thinking that, this is our chance to change. We had sat down and talked before about God and what it meant to be godly, and that really helped me realize, I'm not doing the right thing and I needed to change. That purity project showed me that, you're not alone, and that there are better things to do, and that's not the right way to go. We began going to that church constantly, every Sunday, every youth group. We really got involved with it, but we were still making those bad decisions. We were still having sex and still going to the parties and drinking, getting into the wrong things and hanging around the wrong people. We thought that was okay because God forgives you, but that's not how you should live. That's not how that's supposed to be taken. I continued going to that church and started talking to the pastors and youth leaders, and I really realized that, there was something wrong and I still wasn't going in the right direction quite yet. I knew I had that thought, but I didn't set that process to my life yet. So this one night I started praying and I asked God for forgiveness, and I knew that I needed to change, but that hadn't quite set into me, I guess, yet. I got baptized last May, and I just felt so pure. I felt like all the sin was just gone. I thought that I was finally new and I was finally who God had wanted me to be. But I continued to sin, still going down the wrong path and still doing ungodly things. Later in that summer, there was a camp up on Casper Mountain, and I went to that, and I had a hard time in the beginning. I really didn't want anything to do with it, but the second day, that night, we did a worship every night, and being there, you really can feel God in the presence. You realize how many people He really does affect and how He really is there. I just begged Him for forgiveness. I really realized what was going on in life and how I could change my life, how God had affected me, and how I was still sinning and doing wrong. And I think going to that camp really showed me how to change and how to really realize that, that's not the way to live. And so I just begged Him for forgiveness. I really got emotional at that camp. It really showed me the change that you should be having in life. After that, I just felt so much stronger. I had so much more hope. I still have those down days and I still struggle, but they are never as bad as they used to be. I just go to the Bible now, and that just really helps me. I go to my youth pastors, and they just lead me in the right direction. You just feel so free after you really change. You feel that change and you know that it's actually happening. And you'll know when that time comes because it'll really hit you and you really know that there are better things to come and there's a better way to live life and to live up to His expectations. I got rid of a bunch of I stopped hanging around my old friends that had were leading me to those issues. I stopped hanging around the people who were leading me to parties and drinking, and I just let go of all of it, and I continue to pray for them. I pray that they find this kind of hope in God and that they soon will realize that that's not the way to live, and I hope they realized how free life can really be, or how free you can feel with God in your life and the amazing feeling of having Him there. 2 Corinthians 5:17 basically is the old is gone and the new has come. My pastor talked a lot about that verse throughout all of our projects, all of our youth projects that we had done. In once I had been baptized, I thought that was me, and I put that as my verse. That was the one I wanted to live by, kinda. That was one that really meant a lot to me, but I hadn't put it to my life. I think it really started to make sense to me around that time that I had gone to that camp. It really showed me how I had changed. It showed me that I can be new. I don't have to live with all that old past. I can restart and not have to worry about what I had done in the past because God forgives. It really showed me how I can be accepted again. I knew that what I had done, it doesn't have to affect my life forever, and that opening up and getting help will really change you. So if you're struggling with this, I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that there is still hope for you, and you're not the only one going through this, but God forgives, and there is hope. There's a way to change, and you can find that help, and I want you to know that God is with you through everything, and He's standing right next to you, fighting that battle right along with you. And whenever you feel down, He's still there. He's not just letting you down. He's trying to fight through it with you, and I want you to know that there's never a reason to give up because God is there with you, and there is hope. There's He'll build up your strength, and better things are to come. My name is Megan, and I am new.